Hi guys, I don't really have much of an intro to do today. This is just going to be a normal journal with me in my A5 Midori. This is just a DIY cover. I don't know why I couldn't say that. This is just a DIY cover. There's not going to be much to today, but I did think that I could like show you guys how I go about making my journal pages. So if that's something you'd want to see, keep watching. So I feel like a lot of my pages, sometimes they're very similar and sometimes they're very different. But for the most part, I do have kind of a system that I go by when I do my journal pages, spreads, whatever. So I'm gonna slant this just a little bit because I'm this way and not straight. So we're gonna move it a little bit like this. So first thing is, I get this question a lot, and is if I have like an idea of what I want pages to look like before I start. And honestly, I do not, like, ever. Early on, when I was on YouTube first doing my journal pages, I did have like a layout, and I think in one of my older videos I talk about this, where I would kind of put together a page and then combine it. So I'd already have like stickers, the washi tape stuff picked out, and I'd even like lay them out to see where I wanted them so the videos could be a little bit quicker. But when I'm not doing quick videos, like when I'm doing full-length videos, I almost always just go in without thinking about anything. I may have like a theme that I want to do. Like for instance, I may know that I want to do a page on a certain book or a certain song or a certain movie or something, and then I go into knowing like, okay, well obviously if I'm doing the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, then I need to print pictures of 10 Things I Hate About You. Then I need to kind of give myself an idea what I want to do with it and everything. So in that respect, sometimes I have that. But since this is pretty much like very much a journal, it's not necessarily like a scrapbook like or junk journal like I've done in the past. This is similar to my other Midori, but this Midori is my diary, and it's very personal with what I write in it and what I put in it and who I put in it. But this one is like multiple things. It's like my diary, my journal, my archiving, you know, I memory keep in it. So I do lots of stuff in here. So there's not one particular way that I do anything. I mean, there's not one particular theme or thing I talk about. Like all of this that I write are reflections. They're things that I would put in my diary, but a little bit less personal. Like my diary is deep me. This is like chill, surface level type stuff, like surface level stuff. It's not really, I wouldn't be dying of embarrassment if someone could read my handwriting. Now this one, there's a reason this one gets blurred out. Now, not to say there's not stuff that I would blur out in this, there is, but this gets blurred out 24/7 because this is personal. But anyway, number 2 is I almost always in all of my pages have a title somewhere. So this one is a January recap and wrap up. This is the start of February. I don't know why I didn't do January, February. I was not thinking. But as you can see, February is highlighted and February is right here as well. And then January is here, and they're the biggest things on the page. So 9 times out of 10, when I do these, I always have very big letters somewhere. So this one says weekly wins as the first thing I think you would see in this. Even though I did the color scheme wrong because it's supposed to be dark blue as the base and then light blue as a shadow, but I did that wrong. It says playlist on a bottle, so that's the first thing you kind of see other than the stars. This says last Twilight. So as you can see, I always have big letters as a title, and this is kind of for me specifically if I decide to make a key, because I think I am going to do that. I think I'm going to have a key at the back of the of this for each of the pages. So I always have a title. And now the title can be just about anything, but I think I said this in one of my older videos, which is 9 times out of 10 the titles are just either a song I'm currently listening to, a book I'm currently reading, or I don't know, maybe a line or a quote that I hear. So I'm just gonna show you how I go about drawing these. So I think all of my titles look very, very similar. So one thing about them is they almost always have some type of color from a marker, and I typically use one of a few things. Okay, for markers, I use quite a few things, but normally I'm either using these Ain't Art dual tip markers. So one side is a brush tip and the other side is a pen. I do not love these markers, so I wouldn't sit here and say go buy them, but you know, it is what it is. The other brand of markers I use are these Crayola Super Tips. I've had them for years. They're one of my favorite brushes. I love these. And the last markers you may see me use are some form of highlighters. So I have these Mr. Pen highlighters, or 9 times out of 10 I also use the mild liners. I don't know why I couldn't say that. And what I do is I pick colors that I want the page to be. So I don't really have an idea of how I do this. It's like I look at the colors and I'm like, you know what? I really want today to be brown. I want there to be grays. I want there to be some dark blues. I want these to be kind of earthy colors. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some earthy colors. And I'm just gonna put a little love on me because that's the song that's playing right now. Well, was playing when I started this. So number 3 for how I journal is I don't let myself think too hard about what I'm doing and where I'm putting things. Most of the time I just take a pencil, I draw it out, and then it is what it is. If I end up not liking it, I end up not liking it. I mean, what are we gonna do about it? So since that's really long, I don't know if I'm gonna do that one as the title. I'm gonna put day list as the title. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't feel like using a pencil. Normally I would, but I don't feel like it today. So I'm just gonna pick any color. I just chose this like navy blue, and I'm just going to draw that out, write that out. What am I saying? I don't like that S. Oh gosh. So now we're just gonna go over it, and normally I take one color as that, and then I use the color variant of it. So I normally do blue and blue, so we're just gonna do it like that. And now using a different color but the same kind of feel, I'm gonna put people pleaser flannel Saturday afternoon. Why is that so long? Can the people that are doing these day lists explain? So I'm gonna write it kind of small, and I'm also going to make it to where every grid square is a letter. So it's gonna say, starting here, people. I hate writing in print more than anything in the world. It takes so long to me. Okay, now moving on to step number 4. I need to print out pictures. So I either print out pictures on my Sprocket. I have like 3 of these. I know it's unnecessary, but I have 3. The first one I have isn't great, it doesn't work anymore. Then I bought this one, and then HP sent me a new one. And then I have this Instax that I bought myself. Well, no, my mom bought it. Let me not lie. My mom bought it. And I just decorated it with a picture of my siblings and I from the Houston Rodeo one year. And yeah, there's a 1 missing from my year. It's cute. I love this thing. But I don't normally use this unless I'm doing like a scrapbook page, or if I like want to save a photo. So we're not going to use that one. Something I need to remind myself to do is check if there's paper, because every time I do a journal with me, there's never paper. So, you know. Okay, now we're just going to turn this on. It's probably dead because it always is. I did not turn it on because I need to see what I am going to print out. So since today is a day list page, I am going to try and at least have one part of this be the day list. So we're going to print out the day list, just because actually, should I print out the day list or should I print out my receipt-tify? I never know what to do. This is honestly too big for the Sprocket, and it's going to cut it off. So I'm going to show you. We're going to go to HP Sprocket. And this is what it's going to do. It's going to cut off a big gap of it. Like, you can't even see number 1. I don't know why it does that. So we're going to have to cut this up a little bit. So I'm going to go to Procreate, and I'm going to, it doesn't really matter which one of these it is. Any of these. And I'm actually going to fix this because it's not going to show me the whole thing, which is kind of the point. And then just in case, I am going to sharpen it a lot. And I'm going to bring up the brightness a bit and the saturation, just in case the sprocket wants to be a dick. There we go. So now I can zoom in and it's not too blurry. Now I think a part of me wants to kind of cut it off at number, where should I go? Cut it off right here. Now we're gonna go back, actually cancel. Now we're going to go and we'll do the bottom part now, which starts at hot to go. We're gonna print that. That way it's 2 of them and I don't have to worry about anything being cut off or blurry. Okay, now we just wait for that. Okay, now that we have something printed out, I'm going to cut the edges off and throw them away. Sometimes I keep the scraps if they're like patterned or something, but I don't need to do that right now. Okay, I don't remember which part we're on, but I think we're on number 5. I almost always have something behind whatever I stick into my journals. Almost always. Not 100% always, but 9 times out of 10, it's always. So I'm gonna take my little ephemera bag of just stuff I collect and keep. We'll do some tea today because I don't really wanna look for anything else. So because I don't want this too thick, I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna dust away all of the tea particles. Now we're just going to rip it down the middle. Okay, and I just need to decide which side I want. I'm not gonna put this right here, I just wanna see what it looks like for the front and the back. This is the part that takes me forever, is like deciding. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the front because I'll use the back some other time. I'll put that back in the bag. Okay, now we're gonna move that away because I need to figure out where I'm gonna write, because I try to write in all my pages, and if I can't, then I can't, but normally I try to write. So I'm just gonna use a pencil and kind of filter out where I wanna write. I think I'm gonna write over here. And I'm gonna write horizontally. And I'll keep this over here. I'll make this side a little bit bigger than that side. Or actually no, we'll make them equal. So about right here is where I want to start writing. So that means here and here are good. And I'm not gonna think too much of it. I'm just gonna keep it moving because I've learned that if I overthink, I will not get anything done. Okay, now we're just gonna glue this down. Okay, now I always close it and smash it down for about 30 seconds to make sure that everything stays down. Now I can erase this. I just like to have an idea of where I'm gonna write and how much I'm gonna write. And now we just put these on. Something else I never do is in the beginning, I don't press them down unless I know for a fact nothing else is going under them. But since I think I'm gonna put washi tape under them, I am not going to right now push them down. And since everything is kind of these muted tones, I'm gonna make sure that the washi tape is also muted and that the highlighters are muted, because I do like to use my highlighter to highlight certain areas so that I know what is my personal writing and one is like lyrics, poetry, or something like that. So like I said, I am going to be writing here and here, but over here I'm going to make some highlighted markings. But let me do this first. So I'm going to use this one, and just to add a bit of color, I'm going to use this one, and then lastly I'll use this one. We'll do the pinkish one first. Ready for some ASMR? So we're just gonna lift this part up a little bit, and I'm gonna put it right about here. And yes, I know it covers the part where I said I was going to write, but it's okay. And lastly, we're just going to put this anywhere. Something that I've taught myself to do is to not worry so much about the finished product as much as what I'm doing right then and there, because if I focus too much on like, oh, I don't really like this, or I don't like where this is placed, I am going to drive myself crazy. I just go with the flow, and you know what, if I have to remove washi tape and then use glue to glue it back down because I got indecisive, then I will. I like to have stuff kind of separating the title and everything else. But yeah, then I will. You know, it's no big deal. It took me a very long time to get to that place though. What you do to one side, you do to the other is my motto. Okay, now we're going to use the muted highlighters. I just need my, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna make sure this looks a little neat. I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to highlighter markings, I do want it to be a bit straight. And this is something I just decided right now. We're gonna do one after the other. So basically, we're gonna do color by color. So dark, light, to add a little bit of a difference. What you do to one side, you do to the other. I'm gonna do this one over here. Okay, now, anytime you see highlighter anywhere, that means that this is separated from journal entry and miscellaneous stuff I'm saying. So maybe there's a quote heavy on my mind and I may put the quotes here. I may put song lyrics, whatever song is playing right here, or so on and so forth. And then it'll be an actual journal entry everywhere else. So something else I've been doing recently is kind of separating everything by lines. And then I did it here where I kind of use these lines to cut off, and this little squiggly to separate the words from the other stuff. And this place I used washi tape instead, and this little thing to kind of separate them. So I'm gonna do that here, but we're gonna do it differently. Like I said, most things that I end up doing, they just come to my head right when I'm doing them. They don't come like beforehand. So for this one, I'm going to use this pretty brown. Get this again. And we're going to use the pen side to give it a separation. I don't know why, but something told me to leave this part out and to do it here as well. I'm going to do a little arrow to tell me that these are together, and then we're just going to draw a little heart. I don't know why, but I kind of want to make a little squiggly. Like I said, I go a lot with going with the flow. Nothing is pre-planned. I'm not that creative. Okay, now we have it separated. I'm not going to put another line right here. I just don't want to for some reason. And right here and here will be where I end up typing out, what am I saying? Writing out everything. If you know me, you know it's not my journal unless I draw some stars. So either I draw them or I'll do the stickers. I don't really know where I did with my stickers. So we're going to do some stars with this horrible marker that I kind of hate. I just don't like the tip of it. It keeps on like feathering and just, it's not good. Would not repurchase, but I needed a new set of markers because my old ones started dulling out. And then I couldn't find my curl super tips, so I bought these. And that's what happens when you feed into capitalism. You end up buying stuff that you don't need. Is that enough stickers? I mean stickers. Is that enough stars? This is why it takes me so long to do these, because I'm just sitting here like trying to figure out what I want to do. Maybe I'll do a different color. We'll do back to the blue, and we'll put some other places. This is how you know I haven't used this color before, because the tip is so nice. So if we look back at my other things, there is a lot of decoration on it, but I don't tend to do decorations until after I finish writing. I just find that if I decorate too much without really thinking about the writing, then when I go back, I won't have anywhere to write, and it drives me crazy because I don't like not writing on a page. It's just a personal preference. But I am going to use this because I like flowers, and I feel like a lot of my pages have flowers on them. So we are going to use some flowers. But since I've used so much page, I don't know if I should use these. I'm telling y'all, this is the like bulk of what takes so long. My journal with me videos that are like real time-ish are like 40 minutes, but that's still me cutting down a lot of breaks of me just staring at the page like, what do I do? Also, normally I'm listening to music, watching a show or a drama in the background, or I'm listening to an audiobook. So there will be like 20 minutes of me stopping because I'm paying real close attention to what I'm doing and not the page. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I've been doing this for an hour. So keep that in mind. We're gonna put something maybe right here, but maybe I can just like top this off. Maybe like this. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Let me put these away. Something else I do is if I get indecisive, I choose something and move on. That way I can still kind of see the tea packet after years if I don't know what the tea packet is. Oh, there we go. And the only other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these fake stamps. I don't use my actual wax seals. I said stamps, wax seals, fake wax seals. I don't use them in this journal because I write so much in it. And this is about as far as I normally go where it comes to decoration. I don't typically go further than this because I want to write, and then I will write and come back to decorating if I want to add more to it. So we're gonna get to writing. So there's only a few pens I normally use. Most of the time I'm using my Pilot G2, but my black one ran out of ink and I don't want this one to be blue, though I feel like this ran out of ink too. Oh no, it's still blue, and that's too much for this page at least. I mean, technically the page is blue. You know what, maybe I'll think about that because this is my favorite pen. I also use my little Muji. I love this one, it writes really nice. This is a pen I got from Temu and I really like it. The only thing I don't love about it is that it kind of streaks a lot after a bit of use. So, you know, you get what you pay for, and I paid for Hello Kitty. So there's that. And this is a fake Muji is what I'm calling it. I also got from Temu. Really, really nice. Very, very fine. 3.35 tip. And this one writes really, really nice. Let me see what I think about writing in blue because I don't know if I want to. What should I do? The first song on this day list is Champagne Problems. So let's see. I'm gonna put Champagne Problems as the lyrics here because I don't know what else to write. Actually, I don't hate it, but there's just something so sleek about the black. You know what? Let's be different today. Let's do blue. We're gonna put the other ones away so I don't have a choice. And I'll get back to you when I have finished writing. Okay, that took a while, but I am done with the writing. I meant to go this way than that way, but I was so into the writing that I did not. So, like I said, after I'm done writing, I always go back in and add more decoration if I want to. I may do more squiggly lines and stuff like that, or add stars, stuff like that. So normally I do add a little bit more decoration, so we're gonna do that. But normally I do stickers, so we're just going to go look for like my little mini stickers. Okay, hopefully I have some star stickers in here and I don't have to go look for any. Oh, beautiful, I do not. Okay, now we're just going to add some stars anywhere I see I want some. Normally it's where there's like gaps in the page where I want to be filled. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't do the whole there is emptiness places. It's just the maximalist in me, I guess. There's really nowhere to put any over here, but I want them on both sides, so we're gonna make it work. Also, I'm just like really trying to use up stickers instead of, you know, buying and buying and buying stickers when I have like a billion of them that are still sitting around in my house. I might as well use all of these. Like, there's literally no point in not using them because I have so many. Okay, let's put you. I can get it off. There we go. Can you go right here? You can. Beautiful. Give it a little up. It's a little sideways. I think that's it. I'm not gonna put anything else in there. What I may do though is add a little bit more decoration here. I always like to just do to one side, I do to the other, just because I feel like it really makes the spread look like it's all together and not like I did one page and then the other, because I did used to do that. Early on in my journaling on here, I would do one page as one video and that'd be a page itself and then this be a page itself. These days I don't really do that too often. Sometimes I will, but mostly it's always one spread. Now we just need to figure out what color the stamp is going to be. I have black, gold, and silver. Okay, we are going to put the stamp here and here. Okay, and that's pretty much how I do all of my spreads. So I'm just gonna zoom up so you guys can kind of see it better. I think it came out cute, very me, you know? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing how my brain works when I'm doing these journal videos. And if you did, go check out some of my other videos, and I will see you next week. Until then, peace out, Girl Scouts.
'Cause I really hate you, 'cause you made me so